Hello, welcome back, Steve's Retirement Corner. Simple wins early in your retirement. Hey man, I'm sitting down here at the park today. Been up here rehabbing that daggone ankle. I'm about 99% there now, Doc. I'm ready for spring to get here. It's a beautiful day, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's supposed to be almost 70 degrees today. In the middle of January? Shoot, I'll take it every day of the week. What all that noise is? Fort Lee might be firing some rockets off or some bull. Cannons or something. But hey man, them simple wins, man, them easy wins. You know, there's nothing wrong with them big wins, Doc. Taking that round the world cruise and, you know, spending a month hiking the Appalachian Trail or whatever, man. Those are great, man. But they're few and far between, man. But them simple wins, man, they come by all the time. And, you know, it's a big benefit to you, and especially early in retirement, I think. It was to me, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, you making that adjustment from working life to daggone retirement life, there's a lot to it. And it ain't as easy as I make it appear, trust me. But I'm naturally lazy, man. I enjoy the kickback life, man. I just do. Yeah, there's. But hey, man, well, getting out here this morning got me to thinking about it, man. This is a simple win. It makes you grateful that you was able to retire, man. Normally, I'd have been in the plant there struggling away, you know what I mean? Now I ain't got to. I can enjoy my mornings at a leisurely pace or however I feel. You know, that's a simple win. And it comes every day. It helps keep you motivated and keeps you excited about retirement. It's really what brings some of the joy to retirement for me. So back on that daggone, what do you call it? That Cowbell Tuesday last month, or the other day. Somebody was talking about how glad he was he didn't have to get up with an alarm clock no more. And that's one of the first things that hit people, man. You know? You've been getting up with an alarm clock for how many decades, and now all of a sudden you don't. I mean, that's just a simple joy, man, that can't be replaced. And it makes you feel so good. It just does, man. You know, I didn't have no problem with that because it was, I worked swing shift. And every few days I was working a different shift, so I only had to use the alarm clock a few days a month. And I didn't need it then when I worked daylight because normally I got up beforehand. But I'd use it on daylight just in case. And if I worked overtime, if I worked a double shift, I always set it because I wanted to make sure I had enough time to get ready for my regular shift going in. But I'll tell you what, working swing shift really gave me an appreciation for a regular life. You know, a normal bedtime. I ain't up at 3 o'clock in the morning no more unless I wake up and go to the bathroom. I mean, that, you know, I'm off weekends and holidays. You know, regular meal times. You know, that just made retirement well worth it to me. I mean, that's nothing. You know, that's not cruising the Bahamas for a week with the baby, but it's a win I'll take every day of the week. So, you know, and they come all the time. Maybe you're maybe going down to have lunch with one of your grandchildren at school one day. You know, maybe you and your better half wake up one morning and say, hey man, I'm gonna run down to the beach for a couple of days. You know, spend the night down there or something in the off season when it ain't so crowded. You know, go to the mountains for a couple of days, pick you some apples in the fall. You know, it's them simple wins that come all the time that really bring the joy to retirement for me, man. And it keeps you motivated. It confirms your decision to retire was a good one. You know, builds your confidence. And there's just so much to do, man, that You know, it keeps you busy. You know, and it forces you to slow down, to be there in a moment, because you're looking for them small wins. You know, and it causes you to pause. It's like last year. It's the first year I ever seen a goldfinch in person. You know, I've seen them on TV and little videos and pictures and heard other people talk about getting them, but I ain't never had one come to one of my feeders before. It tickled me to death, man. I see one and I pause and take a few minutes and watch them eat there at the feeders. That tells you how simple a fella I am. Everything under the sun amazes me, Doc. It intrigues me. You know, I think that helped me make the adjustment too. You know, I wanted to go in retirement open-minded and be willing to try stuff, you know. Because when you ain't got work on the brain, man, there ain't nothing like retirement to make your creative juices flow, Doc. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because your mind's running anyways. Mine's been running non-stop since I retired. It's just, the world is just wide open, and I try to take it in every time I can. You know. Maybe you want to daggone. They got a thing down in North Carolina called, the 301 Endless Yard Sale. Happens the third weekend of June. Me and the baby went a few years ago. We might go back this year. I don't know how many miles it stretches. It stretches down 301 down the state of North Carolina. But every little town you get to pull in, it's kind of interesting. It goes for 2 days, Friday and Saturday, I believe. We usually just drive down for the day because it ain't but about an hour or so from here. You know, you're able to do that kind of stuff, and you're able to be in the moment, and you know, you ain't got work on the brain. You ain't got to hurry up and get to the house because daggone, you got to go in this afternoon or none of that bull. The early wins are good, man. They're great, and they really keep you going, and they help you learn what you enjoy. If you're open-minded and willing to try something, you'll learn pretty quick whether it's for you or not. You know. I don't know. But anyways, man, I got to get into town. I got to run into town for a few minutes. I'm going to get back to the house and get some groceries down my throat, I guess. We'll see. Baby made some cabbage rolls last night. I think there's a couple left in the refrigerator, so maybe I'll pop one of them in the microwave. But y'all take care, man. Make it a great weekend, man. Try and do a little something for your health, you know, and pay attention to them simple early wins in retirement. And that's the thing too. I mean, they're big in early in retirement, you know. They come natural to you, I think, as you get into retirement later on. But early in retirement, everybody's keyed up to try to stay busy, and you got to learn that you ain't got to stay busy every second of every daggone day, and that's hard for a lot of people. But if you're a flunky like I was, man, it comes natural to me, Doc. But y'all take care, man. We'll talk with y'all later.